Hello everybody, my name is Star Wars Boy, how are you? And welcome back to the channel for a brand new Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. In this video, we are going to be talking about how to get Killstreak with blaster heroes. Now, I did a video similar to this a few months ago talking about how to get Killstreaks with lightsaber characters. So obviously, I'm going to be following it up with this video. Tomorrow we'll also be doing a very similar video on how to get Killstreaks with BB units. Before I start the video, only a small percentage of viewers are actually subscribed, so if you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe. It's completely free and it helps out the channel. Also, thank you guys so much for 400 subscribers. I recently hit it and it means a lot, so thank you guys. Anyway, let's get started. Now, as for some general tips and tricks, the first one is to mainly be pretty similar to lightsaber characters. Now, what I mean by this is you don't want to camp near your teammates the entire time, and you don't want to run away from them, more so be in the middle of the two. There are plenty of light side heroes and villains like Han, Lando, and also Iden that can completely manage themselves by themselves most of the time. However, there are characters sometimes like Bossk and Boba Fett that may have trouble taking on a large group of enemies. Bossk does have abilities to help himself, however Boba Fett does not really, and it's really important to be sure how many enemies you can generally take on. For instance, Han's Detonite charge is really powerful in taking out enemies, and then he can follow up with his charge and his DL-44. Boba Fett doesn't really have anything like that. Yes, he can use his rocket barrage, however his only real form is getting headshots and running away, which is honestly pretty bad. This is a thing to know for most blaster heroes, and it's that yes, you can take around 3 or 4 enemies, but I wouldn't say no more than 5 unless you have a crazy explosive like Iden's secondary fire or a Han's Detonite charge. The next tip is honestly just to maintain distance because it's one of your biggest strengths. One thing about lightsaber characters is that they actually have to move to you in order to damage you. Unless you're Darth Vader and have an insane saber throw, then no one else will be able to hit you from a ranged attack. That's the one thing that blaster characters have that saber characters don't, range. So you should honestly take advantage of it. It does hurt some characters, such as Iden, who has an LMG and it isn't really good long range. However, other characters like Han and Bossk and Leia, it really benefits as their blasters are really good at close and long ranges. One important tip to note is that blaster characters do regenerate health on kill, the same as saber characters. The only character that does not have this feature is Bossk, who can regenerate all his health from default. From 1 HP all the way to 600, Bossk has the highest health regeneration pool in the game. So what does this mean? This basically means that every time you get a kill with a blaster character, you'll get a bit of health in exchange, and every time you kill a hero, you'll get even more. This is really important as you can go all the way down to 200 and still somehow manage to go all the way up to 650 or 600 depending on your hero. For instance, Han can clear out massive rooms with his Detonite charge and get a lot of health back. This is important because as a blaster character, you have no defense against bullets, and you'll just have to hope that they miss all their shots and that you get the amount of shots in first. Again, you have to try and lose at least amount of health as possible while getting more in exchange to fully regenerate your health back. This is really easy with characters like Boba Fett and Han, who have really good explosive abilities. Leia is also really good for this, and Chewbacca's Furious Bowcaster is amazing. However, as default abilities, you will have to work to get all that health back. The next tip is to never underestimate a lightsaber character. Now, a lot of characters like Iden can take out lightsaber characters really easy. However, it depends who's using that character rather than the character himself. Sure, characters are just more powerful than usual. Darth Vader is really good even if you put him in the hands of a bad player. However, he'll just be good and not unstoppable. For instance, a bad Darth Vader player will not know how to manage their stamina and will often run out mid-fight because they just keep on swing spamming. them. The best tip is honestly just to see how the lightsaber characters are playing, and you see how they react when you throw abilities at them, such as a detonite charge or a rocket barrage or thermal detonators. See their reaction, and if they react pretty well, then that means you should keep an eye out for them, as again, lightsaber characters do tons of damage to any blaster character. If you have your back towards them, they will do a lot more damage than to the front, and you can use a lot of that health, and you'll lose a lot if you have your back towards them or just encounter them for a bit. It's important also to aim for headshots, as they're going to be doing a lot more damage at a faster rate if you just aim for the body. Now, going back to headshots, it's honestly really important just to go for the head at all times. Characters like Boba Fett and Han have amazing headshot damage, and Iden as well has a lot. Leia also has insane headshot damage, and hit firing of Lando can be really deadly. One character that many people don't know about is Bosk. Bosk actually has no headshot multiplier if you do hit fire, so hit firing with his sniper will do the same damage to the head than to the body. So just be sure to aim for the body when you're doing hit firing, as it's literally not gonna give you any extra damage. However, when zooming in with Bosk's sniper rifle, you need to go for the head, as there's a massive increase in damage. Now moving on, we have defenses. Now blaster characters do have a few defenses. Their main one, which everyone has, is the ability to roll. Most characters, actually all characters, have 2 rolls, and there are some characters that get 3 if you have certain star cards added to them. For instance, Han can get 3 rolls, however his recharge time for abilities is slightly increased. However, this is really good in Heroes vs Villains and even in Galactic Assault at some times. If you're getting non-stop attacked by Darth Vader or any other lightsaber villain, then dodges can be really good, as you'll essentially go right through them and deal a lot of damage. They'll drain a lot of stamina trying to attack you, and you'll be able to shoot them freely while they're regenerating that stamina and unable to block. The second type of defense is things that knock them off their feet. Han actually has 2 of these abilities, which is why he's so darn good, and one of them does insane damage. His shoulder charge, for example, knocks enemies off their feet, and his detonite charge does the same. A lot of characters have this ability, and Phasma, when getting all her 3 staff hits, can knock enemies off their feet as well. Finally, we have the most and probably the best one, stuns. Stuns are really good, as the enemy block will be completely disabled for however long the stun goes on for. Chewbacca, Iden, and Lando all have pretty good stuns. However, Iden's has to be probably the most deadly, as using Iden's stun while getting only headshots with her TL50 will disintegrate heroes' health so quickly. Following that up with a secondary fire shot, you will eliminate any hero that goes towards you. Stuns are probably your best friend as a blaster hero, and going up against saber heroes with them will make it a bit easier for you. Now, the next tip is honestly just to look at the mini-map all the time. Now, this is a tip not only for these guys, but for most characters in the game, especially if you're wanting to go on kill streaks. This is really hard with dark side blaster users, as Rey can simply flank around you. However, it's still really useful. If you look at the minimap, that means that you'll know when enemy heroes are nearby, and although it will not tell you which enemy hero it actually is, you will know their general location and be able to be prepared. For instance, if you're not looking at your minimap, it's going to be really easy for a Grievous to claw rush in a room and deal a lot of damage. However, if you're looking at that minimap, you'll be prepared for anyone to go through those doors. This is a really common tip that I see a lot of people still not doing, as they'll be fighting and they'll not know that I'm right behind them. Again, the minimap is your best friend. The final tip, and by far the most important one, is to know which blaster hero you're choosing. Just like the saber heroes, the blaster heroes are very different from each other. Boba Fett has a freaking jetpack, while Bosk is the only hero to have a sniper as his main blaster. Han has 2 abilities that knock enemies off their feet, and Chewbacca is just probably one of the hardest characters to use. Knowing which blaster character you're going to choose and how you're going to play them is a big task to understand. Yes, you can play super defensively as some characters, however, it won't be as good as if you play as the character's specific playstyle. I don't think playing as Boba Fett defensively will do you as good as playing with him offensively, as that's how he's meant to be played. So that is gonna do it for this video, guys. Again, tomorrow we have the video on how to get kill streaks with BB units coming up, following with reinforcement guides for the rest of the year. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Again, thank you guys for 400 subscribers. It means a lot. Also, I have a Discord. You should probably join it, as you'll get inside info on the channel and what uploads are coming up next. The link will be in the description. See you guys next time. Bye, and may the Force be with you always.